inside, okay, that has a design that enables the material to flow in, all right, and then you would see, you know, thanks to your light, you can see that inside you have here the fingers that help doing the separation, all right, the stretching of the straw so that it can separate the right straw and the grain. So the grain will fall down between the concave, okay? In those small holes, all the grain will go down, and the straw will be thrown at the back, okay? Because you have a smooth flow, the straw will be falling down at the end, okay? And all the separation, well, not all, the majority of the separation happens in this stretching unit, okay? So you can adapt the space between those fingers, okay, and the concave. So that depending on the crop condition, if you can adapt, you know, how close the fingers will get to the concave, okay? So the more close you adjust the machine, the more aggressive the separation will be, all right? But at the same time, it will probably generate more small straw to be falling down, all right? So this is another element of adjustment that probably Josh will touch base later on, okay? So we continue the flow of the rice grain. So then the rice grain is falling down inside. And this is where you have the seed and the shaker, okay? So you have a double deck that will help separate the rice grain and the small pieces of straw that could be going down as well. So how this separation will be operating, so you can see from the top, right? So you can approach yourself and you can see from the top, it's designed like fingers that are going all along the way so that it helps the flow of, let's say, the heavier grain. Heavier grain will fall down and the lighter straw will be going out, okay? And why is that? The gravity will make it work because you have a high-speed fan that you can see here.
Blower.
The blower.
Blower.
You can see the blower. So the blower has a patent from here, so it's a patented blower design that gives a lot of wind, okay, inside those shafters so that it separates the grain, which will fall down with gravity, to the small pieces of straw which will be ejected at the rear, okay? So this is another element of adjustment, the opening of the sieve, all right? So depending on how you angle, all right, the sieve, then it will play on the quality of the grain cleanness. Okay, when you open the sack and you take the grain, then you need only grain. You don't want to have straw, right? So this is a piece of adjustment that probably Josh will talk on again in terms of this is another adjustment point of the machine to make it performing. Okay? So, and again, there are two decks, okay, and they are moving on opposite directions. Okay? This is to help in a better separation as well as for the stability of the machine.
You'll also see a top deck in there that only goes about a third of the way back over top of the chaffer. That's called a pre-cleaner.
Over here.
And the reason I mention it is not all of our competitors have one. Right? So that gives us a head start on getting some of the bigger straw away from the grain so that it can fall down through. It's a separation deal, continuing the separation that's happening inside the rotor. So that pre-cleaner is just as important as the other, expands that overall surface area. Cleaning is all about surface area. You want two actions, and you want a lot of area, and that'll make sure you can get clean grain. And that's a key advantage over our competitors. Is right now we're as good as anybody or better than anybody at that.
Absolutely. So a very good point. So let's remember this other major point is, let's say, the separation, the stretching of the straw, and the separation between the straw and the grain is the key operation. So what you need to remember and to probably explain to your customer, if they are concerned by the quality of the separation, is the overall area, okay, the surface that you have for all the concave the surface of the pre-cleaner and the surface of the two tables, sieve and chaffer. This makes all the surface of separation. Of course, here would be probably 70% of the separation of the grain and the main straw that would be ejected, and then the pre-cleaner and then the sieve and chaffer, with the help of the blower. Okay, so this is how it works. So probably, let's say, if you remember, the first major advantage is the width of the cutting platform, 2.1 meter, so that it means higher productivity. Okay, adjustment of the reel, so that it has a smooth flow, automatic adjustable floating drum, and then very wide area of separation. And again, you can adjust concave clearance, and you can adjust the sieve and chaffer opening. Okay?
At time of operation, the adjustment. You can adjust at time of operation, or before the operation, you have to adjust it first.
Before the
operation.
I'll talk to you about that. You can do both.
Both.
We'll have base settings that you'll start with for the adjustments, and sometimes you'll never need to change those. But you can tell, if you know how this works, you'll be able to tell even walking into a field, grabbing a little bit of crap, you'll know immediately how to set the machine. So I'll talk about that to help you with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay? So I will not do the full walk around. So if you go just behind, you will see the discharge element where all the straw is going out. So this is very standard, okay? No specific thing to remember about that. So if I think about continuing the walk around, on the other side you have the 3 stacker discharge units, okay? So that you have the operator that can hold the stack. You have the grain that is falling down, and you have, let's say, the pre-grain tank. Just before the grain is falling down into the stack is 500 liters, just for remembering, all right? So when you have this happening, then you think about the engine, all right? So deere engine, okay, 2.9 liter. So what to remember about the engine is, so first, the high torque. What we are good at Deere is making good engines, all right? And what does provide the high torque for your customers? It's when they go into sometimes some hard paths, right? When they, let's say, suddenly the crop would be of much more material, higher yield, then you need to have a responsive engine so that the, let's say, the RPM will drop a little bit, but thanks to the very high torque, it will go through those hard paths, okay? So you have a high torque engine and a very high durable engine. So it will not be new for you, as this is an engine that we use for many other equipment, 2.9 liter Deere engine, okay? 3029, right? Okay? So this is about the engine, and then you have the operator station, okay? So in the operator station, you will see you have adjustable seats, all right, for depending on the height of the operator, and then very simple, easy operating machine. You know, like Owen was saying, you have hydrostatic transmission from reverse to forward. You have 3 speeds, and then you have this black lever that you can use to operate left and right, as well as up and down for the reel. Okay, and you have a small knob for the very tiny adjustments. Okay, and directly accessible from the end, you have the different elements, right? Would it be all these electrical components for the lights and everything? Okay. So yeah, one thing I forgot maybe just to mention about it is on the other side of the cutting platform. You can go on the other side. There is a lever that you can pull to adjust the speed of the reel. Okay. On the other side is a small manual lever that you can activate just at the end of this bar. Okay, so if you have 3 things to remember, really, what about the performance? Performance of cutting, right, with high productivity, performance of feeding, and performance of separation, stretching. Okay, those are the 3 highlights, and everything is enabled by a powerful high-torque Deere engine and easy to operate machine. All right. And lastly, when you are talking to your customer, of course, before going into the key features, let's ask questions. What are their concerns? What do they want? What are their operating conditions? So that then you can target what points to make so that you can really correspond to what the customer is expecting.
All right, so Raphael went through the